All right. You gonna learn today.
What's up, YouTube? So today I'm gonna talk about real quick the no bus situation. I get a lot of emails about, do I have a video about this? So no, but we got one now. So essentially, if you guys are getting a no bus situation in your Dodge vehicle, whether it's a van, the Ram pickup, the Dakota, anything like that, if you're getting the no bus situation, even in Jeeps, essentially what that means is there's a lack of communication. One of the other systems is not communicating with the computer here. Now this is the PCM, the ECU, the computer, whatever you want to call it. That's what this is, right? And basically whatever system that it needs to communicate in order to start, one of those systems is not communicating with this unit. Now there could be a lot of different reasons for that. The simple things are, it could be grounds, check your battery terminals. It can just be it's not getting the right amount of voltage. Anything could happen to make that no bus situation come in. Also, if you guys did any work recently under the dashboard of your vehicle, sometimes you guys can knock the harness loose from the back of your odometer, and if that jiggles loose, maybe you just drive on a lot of bumpy roads. But if that comes loose also, that will also cause this signal. Now the no bus pops up where your odometer is. So when it pops up, generally the vehicle won't start. It will just keep cranking and cranking, but it will not start. Now I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. So my van, one day I just got in, it didn't start. It said no bus, it didn't start. It cranked, but it didn't start. So I came out, I raised the hood, I looked around, didn't see anything obvious, right? And then what I did was, I started messing with the computer. I knew the no bus is a lack of communication, so I started unplugging. I unplugged everything, right? Just pull these things down, and I just started unplugging like this, right? So I unplugged it, I left it alone for a few, and then what happened was, after a couple of minutes, I came back, and I started plugging it back in. And then after I plugged everything back in, just like this, right? After I plugged everything back in, the van started. Act like nothing ever happened. It started. No real rhyme or reason. It just started. So maybe you guys could try that if you're getting a no start situation. Anyway, so it drove fine for about 3 days, and it did it again. So I came out, I unplugged it because it worked the last time. I unplugged it and waited a few minutes, plugged it back in, and it started again. So now I'm trying to start shaking the harness, I'm shaking the wires, I'm trying to figure out where the problem is. I also cleaned the contacts. You guys want to make sure that these contacts are clean also. Excuse me, because these are, where you're going to get your signal. So you want to make sure that these things are clean. There's no corrosion, nothing like that. So after everything was clean, like I said, I drove it maybe another 2 days, and then it did again. I got fed up. So after I checked everything else, I checked the battery terminal, I checked the grounds, I checked everything else, couldn't really identify the problem. I figured that it must be the computer. Now the previous owner, I've had this van about 4 years. The previous owner told me that the computer had been changed before, and I'm gonna show you guys the old one in a minute, but he said that the previous owner told me that he did change it. He said the dealer changed it. So I was like, okay. So he didn't say when. I don't know how long ago that was, but like I said, I drove for 4 years before I had this problem. So I decided to just go ahead and get a new computer. Now where I got this computer from, you guys can see that's the number if it helps any of you guys. Where I got this computer from was eBay. So there's all these services on eBay that have rebuilt units. Now the interesting thing about this is that you don't have to send back your own unit. They're sending you another unit. I still have my old one. I never had to return my old one. Now, let me tell you guys what happened. So when I got the first one, this is actually my second one. So when I got the first unit, that was about October or November. See, this one has a date on it. This date is January 8th, 2024. I got the first one where this happened was probably back around like October of 2023. As soon as I got it and I plugged it in, the check engine light was on. Now, when I scanned it, it was coming back to the computer. That's what the code was coming back for. It was coming back to the ECU, but it did work. So, you know, I had a warranty on it. That's the reason, one of the reasons I chose the seller I did, because he had, you know, good ratings, and he also offered a year warranty. Now, my van had been down maybe about a week by the time I received the unit. It was probably about 4 or 5 days to a week. So I needed the van to get some stuff done for work. So I drove it with the check engine light. It drove, everything was fine. It just had the light on. So I ended up driving it like that for until January, from like October to January. And I had an inspection coming up. So the reason I switched it out was because, you know, you can't pass inspection with the check engine light. Check engine light is telling me it's the computer. So I contact the seller and I'm like, listen, you know, it works, but the check engine light is on. He's like, no problem, you got a year warranty, send it back. So I had to send back the one that I bought from him, and then he sent me this replacement, which is dated 1/8/2024. And as soon as this one came, there was no check engine light, no nothing. And I haven't had any problems with this one since. So it took care of my no bus situation. But again, you know, before you guys jump out and buy the PCM, which very well could be your problem, just check the other things, because it really is an electrical problem. It's coming down to a lack of communication. So make sure your contacts are good, your grounds are good. Make sure that none of these are corroded. Make sure your battery's strong. Just make sure those things first. You know, if you've been under the dash, then check to make sure that plug has not come loose from the back of the cluster. And if all those things check out, then I would say get a new computer. Now this one cost, I think I paid about $180 for it. Came with free shipping. I had to pay the shipping to send it back, but you know, he did honor it. I still have some more time on. I think I got probably about another few months left on it, because it came with a year warranty. But I haven't had any problems with it. You see, it's a nice clean unit, and I haven't had any problems. No light, nothing has been on since January. I've been driving it with this computer, and I haven't had any problems. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the link below for the seller that I used that I didn't have any problems with. Like I said, when I did have an issue with the computer, he exchanged it with no problem. He did send me another one, so I'm going to recommend it and put the link below for that reason. But yes, if you're having a no bus situation, the problem is going to be electrical. I got a whole bunch of van content coming. You guys know this is already a van playlist. Make sure you guys subscribe to the van playlist. If you guys are looking for van repair videos, then just subscribe to this playlist and you'll be notified whenever I drop van videos, because we got a lot more videos coming. But if you guys are having any problems with your Dodge Ram vans, don't hesitate to ask, and you know, if there's enough interest, I'll do a video on it. Alright, so on that note, YouTube, I'll catch you on the next one.